I don't know. I really think Coastline is one of August's best maps, but it also seems to be one of their maps where they have the most heartbreaking losses on as well. And Nomad ban right out the gate.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row as well for Darksided. Not so keen on dealing with that Nomad at all. August tend to be a little bit more adventurous with their bans, and they'll get rid of the Jackal, just as we saw twice today from Oddity. Interesting, I've seen some incredibly good Jackal plays on this map, particularly from Team Reciprocity, Foxa, or Foxa, as I have been hounded for not pronouncing his name correctly in the past. Foxa from Reciprocity North American team at Invitational had a really good performance on this map as Jackal.
Yep, and then the Echo ban, not too surprising. What else we're going to see? Mirror? No, probably not. Okay, we are. I second guess myself.
Don't second guess yourself. Just you always guess Coastline. You always guess right. So yeah, Nomad taken out of the equation as well. I think it's just kind of a simple one for Darksided. They just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to touch it. They don't want to even think about it. They don't want to have to process any of the things. They don't want to be forced to have to use it. And that's that. So
Blitz.
That looks to be locked in as well. As we mentioned earlier in the day, 6 pick is not active at the moment, just due to some technical issues with it. So that's locked in for Blitz.
He locked that in nice and early as well. It doesn't seem like an Ethan operator to pick.
I don't know, that said, Ethan, we know he likes his kind of flex role where he has a lot of mobility and versatility, and Blitz is anything but versatile. That said, we also know he likes to play aggressive, and I think he just wants to get into the thick of it and fire some people.
Just get in people's faces and flash them.
Yep, that's exactly what he wants to do. And once again, Darksided, was that a hookah defense? But yeah, yes. Hookah defense with Castle, I feel like, I don't know, Darksided is so classic. Every time I see them playing Castle, it's like, oh, that's so Darksided. They're a team that, you know, really does love their Castle plays, seen it time and time again.
Oh yeah.
And as well, like the hookah, they're comfortable with like, oh, if there's a slightly more aggressive default bomb site, we'll play that and we'll favor that.
Like even back when Nico was on this roster, he was their Castle main, wasn't he? He was like
always a Castle player.
And I don't know, like it's, as I said to you earlier, like we get to that stage sometimes where people treat Castle barricades as reinforced walls.
I think it's difficult because you need to be always prepared to, if the Castle barricade gets taken down, you still need to be able to play your defense. You need to know that the purpose of a castle isn't always to prevent people from opening, like to, you know, prevent people from using that line of sight that you're denying, but also that sometimes, even if they do deny it, they waste some utility. And that said, August don't have a ton of soft reach, just 2 grenades.
Oh, that's free.
Yep. That's a freebie.
I'm sure he worked hard for it, actually, but it looked free.
Yeah, it was. There was no reply. And
it was droned out, wasn't it?
I think it was. Right on into the bomb site as well, it really changes the way that the defenders have to mobilize, especially for the roamers if you lose one of those anchors early on. You can see Cutie, the lone man, to defend 2 sides. If we had 5 August players right there, right now, this would be it. The opportunity was taken.
Look at Ethan's position. That's just toxic, man. Blitz, close range, going to run right in. Oh, Derpe. Does he realize how close he is to Jack Daddy here?
Oh, that Dokkaebi call certainly going to help out Derp. Jack Daddy defaults on back a little bit.
Oh!
Deezer's taken down. Cutie doing so much work on the bomb site, but finally taken out. King's now attempting to flank, and Joey takes him out. Another player at the rotate hole. Joey doing what he can. Imorin helps him out. Just Jack Daddy.
Cutie sting the down play there. What was he thinking?
Just Jack Daddy in a 1 versus 3. This is doable. Very difficult, but still possible. 2 goo mines. You can see them a little bit all around the objective, but Imorin, with that disgusting camo, does take out Jack Daddy. He's down for his trouble, but it's a good shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I really thought that Blitz was going to have much more of an impact, but just running into the side and just getting sideswiped by Cutie there. But the fact that he goes to finish off the downed player with the shotgun rather than the other Imorin who was pushing him.
You know what's funny? I mean, I was saying one player gets taken out on site and the entire team has to mobilize to fill that hole. And Darksider didn't do that. They had players nearby down the stairs that could rotate back, but Cutie killed 2 people who entered into him. He had 4 people enter into him at the same time. He kills 2 of the players entering on the bomb site, and still he loses bomb site control. Imagine if there was still a player in hookah. Cutie gets 2 players, and then there's still another defender to contend with.
Whole different round, and you know, what were those roamers doing, really? Like, off on vacation, really. On the other side of the map, not doing much.
A lot of the time, the point of roamers is to be hunted, and it sounds silly, really, but obviously the big problem with, if you're an attacker, with having roamers is that when you're trying to go about your business executing onto the bomb site, roamers will come up behind you. So what do? You hunt the roamers so that you deal with them, and then you can focus on the bomb site without worrying about them coming up behind you. But then you get this kind of like meta of roamers want to be hunted, so they set up positions where they'll be in the advantageous position when the attackers collapse onto them. And that's what I think JackDad was doing, playing Elysian. It's something we've seen G2 do it a lot in the past. Play Elysian, you litter your goo mines all around the map, the various positions that you want to rotate around, and you wait to be hunted down. But August was so focused, they got 1 pick onto the bomb site, and they moved forward from there.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jaeger means hunter.
That's true. German, I believe. And Joey finds the first pick straight off the gate as well, as the hunter is hunted down.
Hit me style shot with a DMR, a hunting rifle.
How far can we make this go, Monkey?
I don't know. He's like an antelope.
Yeah, he totally looks like an antelope there with the earmuffs on there.
He was a deer caught in the headlights. There you go.
Oh, wow, okay. Derpa's on the ash. That's not something you get to see every day, but it really a reflection of the fact that the trust that August has, you know, a player who is historically supportive and flex player, really strong in his gunfights, and they're comfortable giving him the responsibility of a heavy fragging operator like Ash.
Do you think that maybe Derpa is like Todd 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, maybe. Bit of it. Ethan, you know, I feel that.
Yeah, like he's taken over his roles, hasn't he?
Look how perfect this is.
Yeah, he's just gonna free kills, but you know what? They have to run back to site because they've lost their only anchor now.
Oh, this is starting to sound familiar, Monkey. Ooh, another player spotted. Ethan sees any feed, but that bar really obstructs his view and his ability to deal a lethal blow onto Shaq. Kings is still really keen to go up here, and this is like
Derpa springtime.
Oh, man. If I was Kings, I'd be so frustrated right there, but he had no idea what he was getting into. Shaq, though, a great spray down. Derp goes down. Just 2 players left for the defenders, and those Dokkaebi calls are ring-a-linging. Player from above does prevent that push into the bomb site. Just Shaq left. It's only a 1 versus 5, so, you know, pretty easy, but Shaq's got the older to help him out, make it happen. Looking over the top, Ethan's the one above. Yeah,
1v4, Shaq on the retake. Probably not going to happen, so I'm going to talk about what else I wanted to talk about. But yeah, what you said, so tilting for Kings. It'd be like, it'd be one of those timing moments. It'd be like, oh, the timing. But no, that wasn't timing.
No, that was not.
That was orchestrated masterfully.
And it's really interesting. We're just talking about this other analysis stuff while this round plays out.
Yeah, we know how this is going to go, right?
Shaq's going to die in a second. All right, so chatting more about the that position. Nomad was banned, right? But if August hadn't banned Nomad, all they would have to do is put 1 Nomad charge down, and it does exactly what Derpa was doing with a drone and a whole body. Isn't that just crazy to think about? 1 Nomad charge, he was equivalent of a Nomad charge. So in terms of the grand idea of their strat, it was basically like, all right, if they have a Nomad, you put 1 Nomad charge there and that watches that flank. Or you put Derpa there and he watches that flank. The
thing is, it results in a kill, though, with the Derpa and the drone. Like,
well, if you put a Claymore on the other side of the hookah balcony wall and you put a Nomad charge on the opposite side, it smashes them through the wall into the Claymore, then it results in a kill anyway. Bit far-fetched, I know, but it's possible.
I'm just thinking of those machines, like where they all have to like coordinate everything properly just to make a chain reaction.
Yeah.
I want to say Von Neumann machine, but I'm pretty sure that's one of those self-replicating machines.
Like, I don't know, but I kind of get what you
It's like, You got to make sure that the domino pushes this one at just the right time.
I getcha.
Yeah.
So, look, that's a good defense. Sorry, a good attack onto Kitchen and a good attack onto Hookah. Darksided not looking to switch it up any longer. Won't try Penthouse, won't try Bar. It's just another one onto Hookah. And I think that the core here is to keep more players on site. We saw how much damage, I believe it was Shaq did with the Alder on Kitchen. Even though eventually this team lost, I think we need to see a little bit more of that anchoring.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. It really does feel like they are losing, they're losing their anchor, and then it's GG round over. Like, it's August are not trying to do anything fancy. They're not trying to, do a triple loop of the building while they do their execute. It's just simple stuff. Just, yeah, here's the bomb site. We'll take this bite of the pie and waltz in through the window and plant. Good move.
August on this attack. I'm gonna push downstairs, but you always got to be careful. Pushing into these lower areas in the office, etc. You've got to contend with any holes being opened up from above, but you can see how patient August are, and these pre-placed drones deliver them so much information. I love it. You don't just live drone in your teammates, but you have pre-placed drones so that you can just check every room periodically by flicking through the two drones.
Joey, unfortunate not to be credited with a kill here. And Jack Daddy knows he has to get aggressive. That's the first one. Can he follow it up? No. Joey there to finish him off. And, after that early skirmish, it's turned it into a 4-on-3. Man advantage in Augus's hands.
Bit of damage done to some of the August players, and quite a decent amount of utility lost from Imarin as well. Cutie looking through that hatch. He misses the cross of the player, and oh no, that's terribly timed on the Dokkaebi call.
Like, this position up here that Cutie's in should be denied so easily just by having someone to pull up and take down that castle barricade. Like, you said you got to be worried about, vertical pressure, but, like, if you do vertical, like, if you push top floor and bottom floor at the same time, it's completely mitigated.
Yeah. If this opening of this castle barricade had happened earlier, it would certainly have made the job of pushing into office easier. Still, this is really doable with 2 players left on the defense, especially Cutie now behind this bar. He has shotgun if he gets rushed. SMG-11 for dealing with these longer range fights, and still a nitro cell he can lob over the top while staying completely safe.
Oh, that was a Valkyrie camera after they've been hacked, of course.
Yep.
Oh, no, he's going to get out of there just in time.
Oh, wow. So that was an interesting position from Ethan. He sprints into the bar and then vaults out the window. Ippy Style and Cutie playing very safely, but Diesel takes down Cutie. Ippy Style knows he needs to start making some peeks. His position revealed. Diesel needs to get this plant going down. A few missed shots might make the difference for Ippy Style now, but Ethan cleans it up with the pistol, no less. That's the RG15 to close out 3 straight rounds of attack for August.
Well. August looking strong here. What are we thinking for this scoreline? Like, we saw 7-3 on Coastline.
I'm seeing a 7-3 again. Look, if Echo was still in play, I would have a lot more confidence in August. They did ban Echo though, so
I'm going to go 7-1. Like, I feel like August, I don't want to be too negative towards this Darksided roster, but like, I don't know. It really seems like they're still trying to work through a lot of these issues they're having.
It's really funny the way that we're seeing so much attacker-favored match this far in this second half, and I don't know. Of course, we have to account for the fact that this has fairly been August-favored, and August has started on attack. But Coastline, of all of the defensive-favored maps in the game, the defensive-favored meta, Coastline is one that does slip a bit from the norm and be a bit more attacker-favored if you play it right, and August have been playing it right.
Alright, I've got a fun game there, Dev.
Uh-oh.
Take a look at the players' names at the top there. We're going to only see their first 3 letters. I need you to fill in the rest of them without knowing what their names are.
What do you mean?
Ethan's is surely Ethel, right? ETH, that's what we're thinking. Enough of that. I don't have to expand on Joey's. His is fine as Joe.
We need to call him Joe from now on. I feel like Diesel's one is a bit bleak if you don't actually if you don't actually know that that's his full, like, that's not his full name.
Die.
Die and emo is a bit, a bit of a rough couple of players to have on your team.
Anyway, back to the game after that small.
That was your entertainment section of the broadcast.
Do I get paid extra for that?
Look, I think you don't get paid at all for doing that.
All right. 2 minutes to go in this round, of course. August taking control from the southwest side of the map.
Yeah, this is textbook stuff, and the one thing I really like about August is they can play around each other really closely, as you can see Derpa, Emo, and Ethan right up next to each other without getting congested and tripping over each other, which is something that's actually really difficult to do. So they're confident, they're pushing in through this one area that they've droned out, and they're starting to work out their move from there. Shaq has an incredibly good position, and there's actually a rotate hole from inside of theater out to the rear into that top of the visa, sorry, that main lobby stairs. King's also on his flank. Potentially could help out a lot in putting pressure on. Oh wow, okay, that's a cam and a half.
It's a lot of information there, and Darksided know that August traditionally do like to push from this side of the map. They don't really try and take control of VIP or Hall of Fame.
Okay, finally that's one cam taken down, but I'm fairly certain Ethan still hasn't seen that Valkyrie cam, and Cutie will shoot him down. It's a long angle there up through the hallway, but it does the job. Shaq also adding to it. These ACOGs certainly helping out the defenders.
A bunch of these flank watchers are just really not doing anything now.
So I think Darkseid has started reading into the fact that they just need to bunker down on side a little bit more, and they don't actually need to rely on flanks because their anchor players can do the job.
Plus, this bomb site does play pretty heavily into an anchor style, doesn't it? Oh, Hippie style! He's got his own, and he's going to clean on up with Jack Daddy chiming in as well. Darkseid have put their first up on the board.
So that's perfect. We've seen the roamers from Darkseid were in a position to flank when the flank was needed, rather than, waiting for the players on site to actually be completely overwhelmed and attempting a retake. These roamers were prepared to exactly when they were needed, as the information was being delivered to them, that their teammates were receiving the pressure. They push on through, and that's what helped Darkseid win their first defensive round.
It was also that August telegraphed it quite heavily. And
yeah, and Darkseid had the info from those Valkyries.
Yeah, Valkyries were great, and August telegraphed it by just seeming to take forever to decide they wanted to execute.
It's both a gift and a curse for August. They are so very good at being thorough and gaining this information. They're good droners, they're good at setting up drones, they're good at droning for each other and gathering those information, delivering it to their teammates as they enter, but they also take a long time to do these things. And sometimes the final call for this is what we're going to do comes a bit late. And I think that also comes down to August actually don't have a traditional IGL structure. They rely on any player can make a call of, hey, this is what we should do, and then the whole team is, a bit like it's a community, like they all are like, all right, this is what we're going to do, and then they make that decision together.
The proverbial winging it.
Yeah.
Well, there's Ethan taking down Shaq, clipping his wings, and Derpa to find Kings as well.
That ain't great. I mean, as well, it's the Maestro.
That ain't great, guys. It
certainly ain't.
30 seconds into the round and you're in a 5-on-3.
That ain't great, guys.
Yeah, I suppose it's a little bad here for Team 1, but I think they can recover.
Style. What is he doing? Is that a player way out covering that rotation? Is that really what Joe was doing?
The Lamborghini doorway.
Yeah, that was a long angle he was covering. His job is just covering this rotation. He spots one player. Misses every single bullet as well. He calls Ippy Style now to give him a bit of company, and now Jack that as well is contesting this angle. Shouldn't be too much trouble there for the Darkseid players to turn off those phones.
See, August have just completely slowed down right now. 5-on-3, and it's not like they're rushing to close it out. They're nice and calm and collected.
The bit of info being gathered as well by Auglis. It'd be Style still upstairs. Position reveal that is, as he is concussed. Imorin keen to push into that, but looks like he has other ideas as well. Auglis taking control of above. Cutie wants to contest this. He does have the shotgun, but he's taken a huge amount of damage. Diesel is aggressive in the bomb side, but he's crucially pinged out by that Evil Eye. Perfect flank opportunity for Cutie. There is no reply as of yet, and Cutie can stall it out with the gas canisters. He has now the diffuser in his hands, but he is receiving so much pressure right now. Staying alive as long as possible is priority, but Joey finally cleans him up.
Be Style on the flank. Has he walked right past someone?
Did he?
Well, I don't know, but that's a freebie. That's another freebie.
Oh, he does find the second kill. 2v2 now.
Cha-ching.
Oh no, he might have the angle onto the defuse player. The diffuser gets put down, but he does do a little bit of damage. Just Derper to hold it. 1v2.
Oh, he's giving away his position, and Jack Daddy. Oof, that's a nice shot. My prediction's wrong, but I don't care. That was a nice round.
Yeah, no 7-1 for you.
Yeah, I got coastline right.
Yeah, you did. That was an interesting round to say the least.
Barn burner.
You reckon?
5-on-3 that, you know, Darkside had managed to pull out of a hat. Like, if it's not a barn burner, at least it was a... What's a smaller barn? A shed burner?
Shed burner. Oh, that was a bloody good shed burner, eh, mate? You know, true Aussie broadcast here.
Or just a barn that's hot. It's not burning, it's just hot.
It's just like a classic, you know, 40-degree summer day in sunny Sydney. That's the shed. So that was, you know, like you said, that was an advantageous position for Auglis, and Darkside did claw it.
There's me just using all the flowery language. Oh, look at them. They're not rushing to close this round out. They're just losing it. That's what they're doing.
So what was it that really made the difference in that round? Was it
It wasn't Cutie. It was Ippy Style and Jack Daddy just going, you get a headshot and you get a headshot. Like they were just landing their shots. And
you would make the best coach.
Ippy Style just gets 2 on the flank for free, and then Jack Daddy on site, he just frags out the other 2, and that's it. Like,
I think that another thing you got to say is denying that initial plant from Cutie. Yeah, I mean, obviously Cutie didn't rack up as many kills, but the fact that Evil Eye was there and not dealt with, that delivered the information so they get a freebie onto the planter, and then, you know, that enabled Darksided to then be in a position where Auglis have to think, okay, what do we do next? Start getting distracted, start sitting on drones upstairs in exposed positions, let it be Style, slip through their fingers and go for that double flank.
yeah, like it was a 3-on-5 at the start of the round, but Darksider got 3 free kills. So it was really a 3-on-2 in Darksider's favour, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, that's true. Derper with the G8, something you get to see every day, but it is a very nice LMG. So
my issue with like pretty much all LMGs is they just take too long to ADS, and you know, especially on a role where you're meant to be entry fragging like Emo Rin is right now.
He's doing pretty well of it too, with the C8. It's not a G8, but it's something with an 8 in it. There's a bit of damage there on the Jack.
Just a bit, just most of his health.
Just most of his HP. Still, don't think Emo has the intel on the plays. Proning near the bar. Ethan finally finishes off Jack.
This is such a strange round, like after the last one. It's like they've decided, right, we just want to kill them all now, guys. Kings goes low.
When you say we, you mean Emo Rin,
Emo
right?
Rin, yes. Just wants to flush him out with a grenade, but no, Ethan's going to clean it up instead. Cutie, 1v5, up above. Okay, on the bomb site, actually. And, I don't know, Dev. How long has he got in this world?
About 17 seconds, I reckon. Actually, no. That said, Auglis, the one thing that I've got to commend Auglis for is they're really good at just saying, like, all right, guys, chill. Let's do this right. Let's drone him out. Mind you, I'd like to see some more drones because I can't actually see many drones right now. You just eliminate all the positions he's not in. Drone him out. Have someone ready to peek him when you drone him out. I think the drones come out now. No more C4 for Cutie. Oh, what a shot. But Ethan cleans it up. That's a 3-piece for Ethan. 2K at the start of the round from Emo Rin. And Auglis close out the half, 4-2.
Right, did you see how many seconds were left on that clock there?
How much?
I don't know, I was asking you.
No, I didn't. I assume I was close enough to being right.
Yeah, alright, we'll go with that. So 4-2 to August right now, and we switch sides. Is that a repeat from last match? Last map?
Yep, close. Oh, actually, no, we had 5-1 in the last one.
5-1, was it?
Yeah, 5-1
Oh.
at the end of Consulate, which then turned up being a 7-3. So I guess you could say Darkside looking a little bit stronger on this one. And it is a bit funny, really, because Consulate is not one that we would expect to be attacker favored, whereas here on Coastline we would expect it to be more attacker favored. So if we see a 4-2 attacker split on for August on this map versus the 5-1 on the previous map, you'd think that they were actually doing better on the previous map compared to this one.
Surely you could just write some kind of like formula with
The ultimate predicting formula.
yeah, but like you have a constant. Oh, that's rough for Kings. They're on 5.
He hasn't been showing up today. Look, I don't think on the previous map he did terribly, but I certainly don't think he performed nearly as well as he has on Mind Freak in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it's difficult to slot into a new roster. Especially when you have Derpa and Joey playing these 1-speed ACOG, GIGN operators. And you heard at the very start of the round, if I spawn out, and then first thing I hear is an MP5 or 2 MP5s ringing out outside, like you can hear whether a gun is being fired inside or outside, just by the way that the sound propagates. If I hear 2 MP5s being fired outside, that means there's 2 spawn picks going on, and I'm immediately concerned about my future in that round.
You propagate yourself into the fetal position and just spend the whole round there.
That's pretty much it.
Alright, but King's on the entry. He's going to get wallbanged down low and actually downed. Shaq is, however, going to trade one back, and surely Kings can be revived right here, right now.
If you're Kings, okay, and there you go. There's a 20 HP on the revive, down from 50. So Kings still 1 bullet away from his demise. You got to say that Kings will be feeling pretty hardly done by the way that he was just wallbanged. He was never spotted. He was wallbanged by 2 people to get him down. It's got to feel rough. At that point, when you're playing the game and you got 0 kills and that happens, you feel like the game is out to get you.
Well, the game most definitely isn't working for him at that point, is it? Ethan is going to finish him off as well, and Ethan another one.
Being droned out, Ethan, you're never meant to win that, and yet he finds a 2-piece and is still alive. Takes out the drone. He's happy to keep contesting this angles. He knows that he'll be hunted out.
Here comes the next one. Oh, he pre-fires but doesn't move his mouse. That was artistic. As Shaq is going to clean up.
Yeah, there you go. Finally, Darkside to have 2 people at the same time going for it. It's interesting because it's a difficult decision. You know, when the first player is taken out, do you race 1 player to refrag, or do you make sure that your refragger doesn't get taken out with no refrag, and you put 2 players in to refrag for the first guy? Unfortunately for Darkside, they lost 2 players to Ethan.
Obviously, Dev, you just kill him.
There's a common theme for you tonight, isn't it, Monkey? Just kill him. Just hit the head.
It's more of a joke.
I know.
It's the lazy man's analysis. Well, if you wanted to win that round, you should have just killed them all.
Device is going dark.
Love that invitational skin. I'm so jealous of that one. All those people who got them from those invitational packs. Oh, that's a nice angle for Diesel. Cutie goes down along with the defusal kit.
Oh, pre-fire wasn't long enough. Unfortunately, this is a 1v1 in fact. Shaq has to pick up the diffuser. Joey is so far away. Shaq finally makes it to the bomb site, but he starts planning with like 1 second remaining. He needs to get on in there. Joey, you can't waste too long.
Oh no!
Joey! Oh, Joey had to go for that, and he is going to get the down. He's going to go for the BM. No, he's just going to finish him off. Come on, you're the doc. Everyone knows you meant to revive him first.
The problem is if he had done that and then he had died, like that would have been the worst moment of Pro League ever.
That's what makes it such good BM.
I was impressed by that. That was a very good almost clutch, but yeah, I think the entire August roster will be thanking Joey for making sure that got closed out.
No one remembers the almost clutches, Dev.
No, no one does. And it's heartbreaking, isn't it? For poor Joey.
You know, I almost clutched against Fnatic once.
Really? I bet you no one remembered it.
I did.
Exactly. No one. I'm sorry, Monkey. Crying inside.
Crying outside.
All right, so, you know, when it came down to Darksiders kicking off their defenses, they started on Hookah, and they lost it, so they went to Kitchen, so they lost it, so they retried Hookah, etc., etc. Orgler straight out of the gate, they try Penthouse, and they make it work. Then, second up, they try Sunrise. So it's interesting that the primary and secondary bomb site for these two teams is actually different.
Yeah, definitely pretty strange, as it looks like we will be having just another rehost, guys.
Yep, everyone's favorite, because you get to see us.
Yes, it's our
Succeeded on Penthouse. Next up, Bar, though. I don't know.
Oh, we're back.
There we go. We're back into the game, and it is Bar, same and same again. Once again, that beautiful Hibana Elite on the attacking side from QT.
I just love how the diffuser symbol was right on her forehead. It really ruins the aesthetic there.
It does. Well, at least she's got that briefcase as she heads to work.
She got the kit.
She's got it. That kit. Now, Orgler's setting up. I'm actually really curious to see, now that we have a bit of a chat about kinds of positions you can play on this bomb site, I'm really curious to see exactly where Orgler decide to play and how many players they dedicate to various areas. Because one of the things that I think is the most important it's not always simple, all right, you have 2-3 split anchors roamers or 3-2 split anchors roamers. It's about knowing when to rotate, and that's something Darksiders severely suffered from earlier in the game. In the first round, when they lost that one anchor at the start, they had one anchor on site, the 3 roamers off. That's the point where you need to get at least one of your players back to site, just to have that at least an extra bit of pressure and potentially refrag or play off your other player on site. And I think that that's what it really comes down to, especially on this site in particular. You need to know where your teammates are, you need to know where the enemies are, you need to know what utility they have available and what utility you have available, and the information is crucial.
I think in a game like Siege, if you ever ask yourself, should I rotate? You should probably be saying yes. Yeah. I think the real question is, where should I rotate? You want to be very mobile pretty well constantly, but so you can't really get locked down as easily. Like, there's a reason why we call them anchors, because if, you know, everyone anchored, it would just be play up, I suppose. But yeah, it's in a game like Siege where, you know, you can have, someone can have information on you without you knowing that they've got that information on you. Just like constantly moving can, you know, save your life. Like we saw Specker doing just that in the game previously on Consulate. How, you know, there was a pulse scanning him the whole way, but he was surviving because he was constantly moving.
About to have an engagement between Joey and some of the other. Oh, Kings finds 2. Wow, he's had a rough game so far, but there's 2 straight up and on the board for the Zofia player. Takes a lot of damage for it, but he's got 2 kills out of it. It's well worth it. In fact, that's the Smoke and the Maestro, 2 of the most heavy utility operators on the roster. Severe blow to Orgler, but Emarin starts doing some work for his team and gets one to reply. Shaq, though, onto Ethan. Things looking so grim for Orgler.
Turpay just perfectly baits it out and crosses over. But 1 on 4. There's 1. Can't get 2. Cutie to finish off. Darksided. Okay, put up the 3rd round. I don't know, Dev, it didn't look great. It was just Kings fragging out at the start, wasn't it?
Well, that's the thing about this bomb site. You lose 2 players quickly like that, especially 2 crucial anchors such as Maestro and Smoke. You are relying on a serious clutch play from one of your players or several of your players to win the round, and it's a difficult task to tackle. One thing I'm really happy about is Orgler immediately switch it up, head to Kitchen.
I just don't know why they got so aggressive on the Zofia. Like,
actually, not 2 of you. Maybe 1, but
I can understand him going for the immediate refrag. You'd think he'd be falling back, probably trying to get a reload off, right? But
I can picture. I understand the Smoke trying to peek that, but maybe not the Maestro. So, I like this. A lot of reinforcements onto Blue Bar here when defending the kitchen. We've seen a lot of these days opening up this kitchen wall, as you can see from Joey. You can play inside of the garden area. You can play actually upstairs inside of the aquarium hallway. And the other important thing to note is with this bomb site, it's not, and this map in general, it's not just about where you are playing as like your anchor. It's about, I have the option at the end of the round, if I can escape wherever I am currently, I can go to this position and deny the plant or get a flank. And that is just so crucial on this map. If you think about it, a simplified version to think about it is you could play wherever you want on the map to stay alive, and then as long as you can rotate to deny the plant, you're good.
Just like have 5 players just hiding in the upstairs bathroom.
And that's the strat, man. Would you like to have a chat about that G36C that you saw on Itby Style?
Yes. G36C, overrated. Oh, Ethan's going to find Itby Style.
All right, so the G36C, the ACOG didn't save him there, did it? Oh, Hemarin's not too happy. Just joking, that would have been a technical
okay, yeah, G36C, I really feel like it's a weapon that's just not explored as much as potentially could have been. Like, I've ran it a few times for a bit of a meme. I'm like, guys, I'm going to run the gun that no one runs, right? But, I don't know, it still puts up the damage. Like, it's still a decent gun. It's just the R4C is just such a beast. And, you know, if you feel like you want to run an ACOG, I feel like that is a lot more viable.
Yeah.
All right, Kings.
I feel you there, but like Ethan's got something to say.
Sorry, I was getting caught up in what I was saying.
I get you. We'll podcast about it later. So 2 players left for Dark-Sided. Obviously, they only have 4 to come up against due to Emorind disconnecting. They're a bit stilted out. They don't really know where to push from here. You could see there was some intel from Kings, but nothing to actually close it out. Shots spotted at 1 landing, but not enough. Cutie doesn't have the best weapon for this gunfight due to the fact that he has very poor destruction and a low magazine size.
I think they're just going to run on into the bomb size. Jack Daddy gets a burn kill and Diesel to finish off with 2 there. As we are unfortunately going to have to go for another rehost.
Well, that's how it happens.
Now we can podcast about it.
Now we can podcast. All right. This is the G36 show, guys. Welcome to the G36 show. My name is Dev Marta, and this is Sam Monkey Fist. He'd like to tell you all about...
Saw with, you know, Dark-Sided, where they just, you know, August are just ignoring the roamers and just hitting sight. Like, I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see these 2 teams go up against each other and just see that kind of dynamic.
Yeah. Well, we are again on 6-3, so this is a match point position. We are on 6-3. Yeah, because they won.
Yeah, 6-3.
All right. So yes, because they just won kitchen. I forgot to write that round down. I always forget to write that round down. Whenever we have a rehost, I'm always thinking about the rehost, and I never write down the round. I'm terrible.
Well, it happened. I was there, Dev.
Good. I remember we were talking about it for about 10 minutes. So here we are on Penthouse again.
Yes, 6-3, potentially final round. Just slightly delayed for you guys, but it's still same flavour, don't worry. Derpe, Joey, ACOGs, we've got the Cogs. Like, going back to the ACOG discussion, I just want to put in this, that I really don't think having ACOG and taking it away from people is a nerf or a buff. Like, it's... People are still going to be as good.
You can't just add this, because this is you can't just add this, because I got to add stuff to this.
All right, we'll tune into the podcast, guys.
We'll fight it out later, and we'll decide. I'll film it. I'm sure I'm going to get beaten up.
There is no podcast yet, by the way.
Yeah, one day. We'll get you on Talking Siege on this channel, by the way, every Tuesday at 8 PM ADT.
C4 deployed.
Oh, this could be big. Yes, it is. Itby Style. His feet blow up below him and his head hits the ceiling.
That's not too bad, is it? I don't know how. Did he just...
Sixth Sense.
He's kind of insane like that.
X-Files theme plays.
All right, so Ethan's now in Walker Spot, and yes, that is called Walker Spot. No longer is it behind lobby desk. Everyone needs to call that Walker Spot.
I like it.
Good, especially now Walker no longer plays Pro League.
Changing mag.
Sad face.
F.
Surely not twice, as Itby Style. How many C4 kills do we see from August? I feel like every second kill. And there's Ethan going crazy, takes out Cutie. This man is unstoppable. Press back inside a walker spot.
Prepping needles.
Is it now going to be Ethan's spot, or?
I don't know. You got to do a lot more than that to get the spot named after you. Oh, wow. He even did some damage.
It's a lot of damage, down to 50 from that peak. Oh, Kings. He almost capitalizes on that one as well. But a minute 15 on the clock. You know, this looks like it might be all over Red Rover.
Ooh, sprays through the wall as well. August just seem to be really playing off of this information every single time. This is match point, of course, in the final match of the day. Joey's still playing so aggressively. You can see August are keen to close out the night. Imarin's back in the lobby and everything, so they're all ready and set to finish it off. Just 3 players for Darkseid to make it happen. And, oh, that's a real bummer, isn't it, Kings? No more explosive, less just the 1 concussion. And well, that certainly won't do the job against the Maestro device. A Thatch Grenade will disable it temporarily as Kings spots out 1 player at L, playing safe currently. Oh! Derper on the long angle. This is looking to fall apart for Darkseid.
GG.
25 seconds to go, and you've dropped the pen.
Sorry, am I being too anticlimactic right here? But it was...
Oh, look at that. Ippy Style has left the game. That's a rough ride for Darkseid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so depressed at the end there. But, like, it was over. Everyone could see it happening. Like,
August closed out that one, and I think that as much as we've seen some impressive games from August, I hadn't expected